Moving now to your latest headlines. A Maine man is facing OUI charges after authorities say he crashed into a sheriff's deputy's cruiser on his way home from a bar late last night. The Cumberland County Sheriff's Office says one of its deputies was conducting a traffic stop near Lewiston Road in New Gloucester, and his cruiser was parked on the shoulder of the road. They add Christopher Clare of New Gloucester then hit the deputy's car while it was parked. Police say nobody was injured, but Clare was arrested after he was found to have a breath alcohol content of nearly 3 times the legal limit. The crash is still under investigation. Meanwhile, several rounds of ammunition were set off during a fiery car crash in Bow, New Hampshire yesterday. According to state police there, a car traveling on I-93 hit the median, ricocheted across all lanes of traffic, and then went into the woods. That's where the car hit several trees and burst into flames. As it continued to burn, hundreds of rounds of ammunition inside of the car reportedly began to explode. Police say 3 people were in the car at the time, but only one was taken to the hospital with injuries. One person was arrested because of outstanding warrants. And a former counselor at a boys' camp in New Hampshire will spend the next 2.5 to 5 years in prison. A judge handed down that sentence on Friday to 39-year-old Matthew Scavito, who was found guilty of sexually abusing a boy from Maine at Camp Tecumseh, located in Moultonborough near Lake Winnipesaukee. The victim was 12 years old at the time, and Scavito was 19. Scavito would later go on to commit those crimes again. In 2015, he pleaded guilty to sexually abusing students while he was a teacher in Pennsylvania and spent 11 months behind bars. When we come back, we'll have a look at your week ahead, plus a naval warship built right here in Maine shot down drones heading for an Israeli vessel in the Red Sea today. We'll have the details on the attack. We're learning a U.S. naval warship that was built in Maine defended a commercial ship in the Red Sea today after it came under attack. The USS Kearney, which was built by Bath Iron Works, shot down at least 2 drones in the southern Red Sea today. According to the Pentagon, the USS Kearney was not the target of the attack. The drones were launched by Yemen's Houthi rebels, who have been launching a series of attacks on vessels in the Red Sea in support of Palestinians stuck in Gaza. The rebels released a statement saying they were aiming for 2 Israeli ships nearby, including the Unity Explorer, an Israeli commercial vessel. The USS Kearney was assisting that ship at the time of the attacks and subsequently shot down drones heading in its direction. The destroyer was launched from BIW in 1994. Meanwhile, Israel is expanding its ground offensive throughout Gaza. Plumes of smoke from explosions could be seen today as Israeli defense forces began pushing into the southern Gaza Strip. During the first few weeks of bombardment in northern Gaza, masses of people were forced to flee south. Now, Israel is moving into the south, saying they believe Hamas leaders are among the civilians who fled there. Israel quickly resumed its invasion following a week-long ceasefire where Israel and Hamas negotiated the release of more than 100 hostages and allowed hundreds of aid trucks to enter Gaza.
I'm tracking snow heavy at times. Find out how much more is coming in the forecast in a few minutes.
All right, before we get to Jason, take a look at this. Well, one spot that's probably pretty happy about tonight's snowfall is Sugarloaf. We're taking a live look at a mountain cam right now. Looks like they're getting some pretty decent snow amounts, at least a few inches piling up. The resort has already been open for skiers for about 2 weeks now. Jason, we know the mountains are going to welcome the snow, which is a good thing for them, but a bad news for morning commuters.
Yeah, Carabasset Valley is a jackpot for this storm, but yes, you're going to have snow in a place like Augusta in the capital, Lewiston, Auburn, places that obviously get a lot of cars, a lot of trucks, and you're going to get the plows going. On the radar, you can see where all that dark blue was showing up just away from the coast. Snowfall reports here, these little circles here, Rangeley, also in Oxford County, Carroll County, New Hampshire. Starting to get the reports, I've seen 3-4 inches so far that on the ground. Now, one of the tools I use to see how hard the snow is coming down is the visibility. You see in Lewiston and Augusta, 1.25 miles, Rangeley, 1 mile. Okay, 4 miles in Wiscasset where you're kind of on that battleground. Look at Rockland at 10 miles. That's got to be rain in Rockland. 3 in Bar Harbor. Okay, you got the wind component to this, the onshore flow. This has the look of a baby nor'easter, wind out of the northeast here, temperatures in the 30s, a coastal front setting up, but where we got the onshore flow east and the southern coast there, 48 water temperature, 38 Portsmouth, that is rain. So here's what you need to know for the storm. It is rain, snow, and some ice, significant accumulation inland, just away from the coast, mixing along the coast, and a power outage threat, heavy, wet snow, just a few miles up northwest of Sanford, for example. Now, 1 to 3 is the striped Sanford Sebago up just away from the coastline here over towards Belfast, Penobscot Bay, Bar Harbor. Now, 3 to 6 basically from Lewiston, Auburn up to Augusta. Now, all snow there, more likely a 6-7 inch. 6 to 12, Carabasset Valley, Oxford Hills, White Mountains, New Hampshire, heading up north, Central Highlands, and you're going to get that 12 plus there on the elevation. So fly around and show you that here in Caribou. Not expecting all that much there. You're going to have more of a 3 to 6 situation. Holton, though, Millinocket, you are a 6 to 12 plus. Heading down south, Topsfield, it's 3 to 6. Calais, you're in 3 to 6. Bennington, 3 to 6. Machias, a lot less. More like Bar Harbor, Machias, more like that inch or two coating with the rain mixing in, okay? So you're around that in Wiscasset, depending on how much cold air is coming down. Up towards Greenville, 6 to 12. Dover, Foxcroft, 6 to 12 plus. Jackman getting into that big number there. Over towards Coos County in New Hampshire, getting in that 6 to 12 plus. Freiburg, 6 to 12 plus. And then heading south down towards the lake, you're more in that 1 to 3, and Sebago more towards the 3, depending on how much is going to come down in the next few hours. So in the hour by hour, you're seeing that wind northeast. Temperatures here look to be a couple degrees above what I just showed you. So that's going to mean more snow and eventually changing to snow in Portland. At that point, we'll see how much precipitation is left to stick on things like elevated surfaces first, elevated surfaces, and then going to places like, well, you have to see about the actual roads getting it. Now, we measure snow on the grass, not on the roads. But still, nevertheless, it's over here, just cloudy by about middle of the day, Lewiston, Auburn, and Augusta. Snow happening up in Greenville, continuing, though, throughout the day. It'll be lighter. It's not going to be the stuff that you're going to have to go out and plow again if you've already plowed at that time up north. Small craft is up, though. Water temp 48. It's going to be right up until Monday afternoon. Next 3 days, rain and snow for your Monday. Tuesday, it's partly cloudy. We clear out. A few snow showers still around. Wednesday, it's sun and clouds. And the next 7 days, we are clear from Tuesday on for the most part until the weekend comes. And wouldn't you know, we're going to flip the script and then get up into the 40s. As far as the coast goes, it's rain and snow and then 30s, a couple cold days before we warm up into the mid-40s for the upcoming weekend. Not done with this weekend yet officially, Sam, but I can tell you that next weekend looks more wet instead of white.
And I think after we get through, I guess technically this morning's commute, we'll be happy to enjoy a little bit more sunshine in a few more days.
Yes,
Jason,
sir.
Thank you.